doing great.
How's the family now? How is Madam?
Yeah, okay, no problem. Thank God for everything.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes. Thank God that we are able to wake up this morning. To hear your voice and hear my voice is a miracle. Let me quickly wake up my people, my wife, my children. Capitality worldwide. You can hear it.
It's
been a while indeed. It's been a while. All right. My point of village. Where's your village? Who formed you? How do you exist? Who born you? Who bring you?
Okay, I want to thank God for his family. I want to thank God for my family. I want to thank God for my family.
You are still considering. Another is on the midday for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me wake up my family this morning. Just I want to appreciate God for life. Wake up my family. Hope for God. Gloria, Sicilian, Tabitha, appreciate to Junior, and long life and prosperity. Wake up Orlando, Sergeant, Sipa. Wake up Mr. Lucity. Congratulations to
85 naira 33 kobo at the investors and exporters forex window. This indicates that naira is losing 0.09% or 33 kobo compared with 385 naira opened on Thursday last week. And finally, in business, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, issued a circular dated Thursday, April 30th, 2020, conveying the approval by President Muhammadu Buhari of the implementation of new fiscal policy measures aimed at facilitating the importation of essential medical supplies to combat the coronavirus pandemic in Nigeria. Specifically, the circular exempts importers of specified medical supplies from payment of import duties and value-added tax on such items for a 6-month period in the first instance, with effect from May 1st, 2020. The items include COVID-19 test kits and apparatus, protective garments, thermometers, disinfectants, sterilization products, other medical devices, and medical consumer tests positive in Ekiti. COVID-19 fears. Hospital rejected electrocuted dancer, says Clarence Peters. Wow. COVID-19 oil prices rise as countries ease lockdown. Sikondo policewoman refuses COVID-19 tests. Why? Access Bank denies sacking 75% workers or closing branches. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting. Accused who fled Ocean Hospital jailed for 30 months. Man making face masks stabs co-tailor to death. Why? Explain role in alleged 33 billion naira NEMA fraud. PDP tells Oshinbajo. This one says driver sentenced to death for killing employer's mother. Okay. Okay. Eze, the 5-year-old Nigerian DJ, melting hearts. Dino speaks against control of infectious disease bill 2020. Okay, and this one says, okay, will help police fish out students' killers. Uniport. Gunmen kill Delta Motor Park revenue collector. Kidnappers free Ekiti commissioner. Security guard kills Anambra man over face mask. And this one says asymptomatic coronavirus patients may have loss of smell. Expert, why your eyelids are dark. And this is from the Sunday Doctor. 16 Lagos doctors test positive for COVID-19 in the medical yield. Okay. This one says on the sports side of the headline, Serie A, Ronaldo returns to Italy. Matuidi, Higuain expected. Ex-Eagles Onigbinde celebrates Yekini 8 years after demise. Okay. And some political headlines here. PDP, APC senators join Obaseki to battle COVID-19. Senate begins probe of SIP cash transfer register. Northern governors mourn Ranu Emir, ex-Bonu governor. Okay. And this one says 43.4 billion naira World Bank grant. APC, PDP bicker over Akwa Ibom's exclusion. Okay. And stock market advances with 36 billion naira gain. Naira gains exchanges 430 naira to the dollar as forex sale resumes. That's it from the Punch newspaper this morning, and we're leaving the Punch. We're crossing over to the Guardian.
Benin City. Today we'll be looking at the latest happenings in the English Premier League, and also we will be talking about what is going on in the Spanish La Liga, what are they planning, and then we'll be looking at the German Bundesliga, what's happening over there, as well as one story that you'll find really interesting. A player that was declared dead 4 years ago, he was mourned,
and things like this gets to happen to either one. Then you just do one or two. But we, as at some point when the Emiliano Sala incident happened, we already concluded after 1 or 2 weeks, because it was under the waters,
Yeah.
big water, we concluded that we are going to get to find the body, not Emiliano Sala alive.
Yeah.
But the family, the wife and all, they did not.
because the wife is now a suspect, although
Yeah,
she
she is.
denies all allegations. She said, look, I only got to know that my husband took a life insurance policy after a report came of his death, and then I went to the company and presented the papers. But some are saying now that the documents were forged, and that even the death certificate that she got from
No, Congo.
yeah, that maybe she bribed the people to do that for her, because they need to see all of these things before you
I mean,
can.
do they issue death certificate without getting to get hold of the body? Even as bad as it is in some countries, not just related to Africa only, until you get to identify the body, they don't issue you a death. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have never seen an instance like that. You have to identify the body before a death certificate is issued by a doctor. If it's a missing case like it is right now, nobody will issue you a death certificate, because what if
Even if they do, they will say this person is presumed
dead?
Yeah,
Yes,
so they will-
exactly.
So just in case something happens,
Yeah,
and the person comes,
so-
because maybe there is an explosion somewhere,
Mhm.
and like look at what's happening with this coronavirus situation, for instance. Maybe you know somebody, and the person was coughing before the person traveled to this place, and with what is happening, even in the United States, we've seen satellite images of mass burials taking place, and many of the people, they were there for weeks or months, and nobody came to claim them, so they buried them. So if you have somebody that's missing within that area, they could say this person is presumed dead. Yeah, so but
Should
if
the
years
person
later
return
the
again?
person
Yes.
returns, then they will now say, okay,
because there's no doctor that will just issue you a death certificate without all these things. Because at the end of the day, when, for instance, this case now, they are going to trace it back to the doctor that issued the death certificate, or whoever issued the death certificate, and his our profession is under threat right now, because you did not get to confirm the body, you didn't have proper evidence that this person actually passed on, and you issue a definite certificate that this person is dead. I mean, a lot of conspiracies done here. I think the friends that he went along with, that took his money and passport documents, and the case may be, and of course his wife and himself, they should be investigated.
Okay, let's just stay in Africa and tell you what's going on with the African Legends Cup of Nations. The last 16 draw has been done, and it is going to be two former Chelsea players, John Mikel Levy versus Michael Essien. Mohamed Salah will be taking on Samuel Osei Kufo of Ghana. So this is what's happening. Austin JJ Okocha of Nigeria will be taking on the South African Benny McCarthy. He defeated the South African in the round of 32 in Lucas Radebe. So he'll be taking on Benny McCarthy. And it will be interesting to see how these things will happen. The field of 32, after 10 days after the first round matches, we now have so many players that have fallen by the wayside. Legendary players, including Thomas Unkono, Dibo El Khatib, and have dropped 32. So then there's also a
Their own rights,
1988.
If you're talking about,
Did they do you?
call NCDC, this can be allowances and
What's happening is ladies are going to be he took the last chance match. Then we had
The federal government on Monday unfolded plans to decontaminate schools across the country before they reopen for operation. The decontamination would focus on the school environments, hostels, and other places. President Muhammadu Buhari, during his last broadcast, said from May 4th, there would be a phased easing of the lockdown in Lagos, Ogun, and the FCT, including 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. daily curfew. The easing of the lockdown, however, did not include the reopening of schools, places of worship, and other places with the likelihood of uncontrolled population. Pending the reopening of schools, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 urged the schools to continue e-learning and virtual teaching till further review. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB has returned 3.5 billion naira to the Federation account from the excess generated from its operations during the conduct of 2020 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME). It said the amount was from the sales of e-pins to UTME candidates, bringing the total remittance this year by the board to 7 billion naira. This was disclosed in a statement by JAMB's Head of Media and Information, Fabian Benjamin, in Abuja. In Ogun State, the Association of Resident Doctors Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital (OOUTH) Ogun State has begun a 3-day warning strike. The action started on Monday.
The headlines. State government to partner with telecom companies to reach vulnerable citizens. Nigeria records 245 new cases of coronavirus. Nigeria receives $311.7 million of bachelor's loot from United States. On entertainment, the video set to feature Nicki Minaj in new album.
And in sport, as Shaka 04 player found alive years after being presumed dead.
Details of these and more after this break. I am God's Love, Orlando. The news in details. Edo State government is working with telecommunication companies to compile a list of vulnerable citizens in the state who will benefit from the social intervention program of the federal government. Governor Godwin Obaseki disclosed on Monday when he received relief items from the 3 senators representing the state at the National Assembly. Chinedu was to support the state in providing the Joint Action Committee of SANU, NASU and NAT of Amrit Ali University has also opposed to the intended payment. They said any reduction in staff salaries would be resisted by JAC through any legitimate means within their disposal. Meanwhile, when contacted on the phone, the school's public relations officer, Edward Aivaba, said the issue was not something to protest by the workers, but it should rather come to ground table with the management to resolve the issue amicably. The institution's image maker said it will be difficult to pay the workers in full following the shortage in school subvention by government. He assured that efforts will be made by management to hold a meeting with the workers after initial attempts to reach them failed. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has now recorded 245 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. According to the NCDC, 76 of the new cases were recorded in Lagos, 37 in Katsina, 32 in Jigawa, 23 in Kano. Reports about medical facilities and doctors turning back sick patients for fear of their illnesses being COVID-19 related. Mustafa said the Minister of Health, Osage Ehanire, would engage with the management of tertiary health institutions in the country to address the matter. Meanwhile, the COVID-19 Presidential Task Force has lamented over the failure of many Nigerians to adhere strictly to advisories regarding the lockdown relaxation. During its briefing on Monday, the PTF chairman, Boss Mustafa, said close monitoring of activities reveals that the level of compliance is unsatisfactory, especially with regards to social distancing and the use of face masks. While maintaining that there is a high level of violation of guidelines, the PTF chairman revealed that interstate travel ban has not been also compiled with, stressing that the evacuation of Al-Najiris from different states does not respect the guidelines nor follow the rule of the ban. Mustafa advised enforcement agencies to do their job actively and bring violators to book. He, however, called on security agencies not to take laws into their hands, but to follow due process in carrying out their duty. Abacha. The draw huge cash, which is referred to as Abacha 3, was confirmed by the Attorney General right after this break.
This message.
The measure was part of an effort to contain the spread of the dreaded coronavirus pandemic in the was relaxed for economic people. And so Enugu State, where the flu and COVID-19 isolation center and the Enugu State Commissioner for Health, Obi Ikechukwu, said the arrest of the employment of Lagos State over relaxation of no personal protective equipment, no work. According to him, the state government should prioritize the provision of PPE in the hospitals and that certain issues, cases, which should be. And Tobias Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja has struck out an application. Kenya's lead investigator study, Louis Acheng Ombajo, is quoted saying the trial are part of an international trial, though she did not mention who is sponsoring the study. She said they are waiting for approvals from the Poisons and Pharmacies Board and the National Council of Science, Technology and Innovation. Kenya has reported 490 coronavirus cases and 24 deaths. Uganda has announced a cautious easing of the nationwide lockdown with restrictions on the number of lawyers who can work. President Yoweri Museveni said only 30 lawyers under the Uganda Law Society will be added onto the list of essential service providers. The president announced the mandatory wearing of face public as a control measure against COVID-19. Residents can wear washable, reusable clothes that are manufactured locally, and warehouses, wholesale shops, garages, insurance firms are allowed to reopen. All other lockdown measures, including the closure of international borders, a ban on public and private transport, a ban on gathering, were caught with 17 bags of dried weeds suspected to be cannabis sativa. According to the Edo commander of the NDLEA, Buba Wakawa, the substance weighed about 198 kilograms. The Senate on Tuesday introduced its own infectious disease control bill under a new name. The bill titled
Welcome back, Mr. Nusa Owadia. Good afternoon.
In safe hands. And also greet our customers we did for Edo, especially when they listen to us. And also our customers we did for Delta, Ondo and Ekiti, anywhere where they listen to us, maybe through their phones, whether you there for a house, whether you there inside your car, they listen to this BDC half hour today. We say we truly salute Nado.
Yes, Madam Gloria has announced we did do before. Make you sharp give us power supply update as it take carry our car from last week on reach today.
Thank you, Oga Kelly Merit. I also truly salute give our customers. They say if person do good, you talk him. If you do bad, you talk him. We appreciate most of our customers when they reach us through our various platforms. Some of them through our social media platforms, some through telephone, some through all. The editor say we try. We thank all of them as the thing improves. So we thank you. We acknowledge say improve for your side. But today I want to talk about how the power sector be for the whole federation, because as we dey talk and put for this station and for this program, we dey talk say power sector not wetin you talk in isolation, because not be only distribution dey for the value chain. Say power sector na value chain. You get generation, you get transmission, and you get distribution. And most of the things where they drive and as it be for the total value chain. So today, we'll talk about how it be for the total value chain. Total generation for Saturday will be 2nd of May 2020. Now 4,373.22 megawatts. This allocation at 393.59 megawatts. On the way we 3rd of May, we get total generation for the country 4,408.74 megawatts, and this allocation be 396.79 megawatts. Then on Monday, will be yesterday, the total generation still remained the same 4,408.74 megawatt, and be the remaining 396.7 PDC transmission end. And also, they do all the things where you can hear as the end. Now, mostly when there is fault network, like I talk, I'm now saying it day for within your street, if they within your. So if it license and vandalism to network, we'll do that one. And if it may be general power, we know where we go carry and go to work for all of us. So the economic is done, they pick up. So the number of people too where they demand for power go still increase. But for now, it's ensure say too you demand it go reduce. Like I talk here say people don't they lose job already.
So make whosoever they in charge let them do the needful too.
Inside last week, we can't get reports customers they harass our field officers. And that last week, Oga Kelimerit, you remember say as a coronavirus lockdown or pandemic we did so at least it could reduce the suffering in support of them. But we want to verify to say that one now they call proposal. Say make our customers try us how we will take implementer. Then too, electricity where you did.
Let me begin by telling us what is Islam. Islam is a derivative of an Arabic verbal noun coined from aslama, that is, I concur, I obey, I surrender, I submit, etc. It is also a derivative of one attribute of Allah, as-salam, meaning the Lord of peace. Islam is therefore being defined as a total submission to the will of Almighty Allah, without leaving anything behind with you to be given to Caesar. Because in Islam, Caesar and whatever he had belongs to Allah, to whom he had eventually returned. Now let us turn to knowledge. Knowledge is a body of information, facts, or skill acquired through experience or education, the theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. Now, life becomes worthy of living when men realize the purpose of the existence and strive to actualize it.
Continue now by please can you just go over knowledge
and our skill, that is knowledge, remember by people around him, by which idolatry is from Islam, the hardest time to reform.
Okay, sir, you want a little bit higher. It's a little bit
talk about his brain or his
intellect. It's not enough.
Exactly. The intellect is limited to time and space. Observe it and now think it is therefore a plaything. He goes there by the conclusion form and held it in his hand. What will become of him or her? To be wonderful and so powerful and turned it to
the body is very interesting. So if you don't mind, I'd like
that is based on human fancies of divinities.
What are the ignorance? If you can just combine the two.
Uses of knowledge are very. If you are knowledgeable, yes, you can be citizen of anywhere in the world. Learning is the great glory of those around him, for he is refined, writing, and the rest. So now,
my audience to say that you can join the conversation
today. So Nigerian football is mourning right now. Elsewhere, we hear that the league, as they are preparing to return to football in England, they are considering playing less than 45 minutes each half because they want to find a way to see how they can help the players fight fatigue that will come with playing many matches in a few number of days. Barcelona players, we hear that they are coronavirus test before they return to training. And in still back to English, Fiesta. Chidi Ofo Ekenwa, member of the Nigeria Football Federation, member of the Executive Committee of the Nigeria Football Federation, and chairman of the Nigerian National, has passed away.
It's a sad news. Ago we got the confirmation. Thank God that we can talk about legacies of people. Thank God we can also get to remember them, that they did a whole lot to grow this game. We would have loved to have him this air to help us develop our football, but in all circumstances, glory to God, to God. Kind of fortunate. Leukemia, it's a very, very terrible sickness, and it gives you 50-50 chance of staying. He has been fighting this quietly, and it's a young man to have died.
Normal Welenda, eloquent, witty, thorough, and committed, visited in Nigerian football. We pray the Almighty will grant English Premier League. Be considered, they will not just 3 now, they will increase it to 5.
I think that's the best way. The normal 45 minutes will kind of be. I think the best coaches will have to use their, not all the games. Like I think the idea FIFA competition of Yoruba, it could have 6 nurses in as well in the knockout stage. A good omen in terms of football globally. There are teams that we've seen that gets to have these strengths, especially those days.
Towards the end of the match.
Yeah, those are
but it doesn't matter. Suggestion from Gordon Taylor, but some are saying no, that this has not been, because they don't think that is something that will work. Very fine substitution, but to say you've got to reduce the times that.
For those states, one makes sure say all of us know how 12 was for all the local government. I beg, make una cooperate with all head numbers if we get any issue. 08.
Liverpool chief executive, he admitted that the EPL proper research post problem if they do not conclude the season. But
they lose close to £1 billion. Then if cases are taken, they have to end the season. I don't think this particular one we're about to say that we travel one country to another, play these preseason games, marketing.
If the threat of relegation from the top flight remains visible, then there is a problem. So they are taking a position and
problem will be clubs using the whole of how they're going to do it. But the system has been paying from top right now. Then they need to compromise. And they have to give all these right to do it, and at the same time do it and you come back on next season.
Well, it seems something that should be expected. England and Wales Cricket Board, what they said. And he also said, of course, there will be members of parliament on Tuesday. Harrison added that 800 days of cricket
able to really merchandise their on the pitch. If they go out there, same goes for basketball, you to get what you want to achieve on the pitch. So you just take the draws and you're cured with the knowledge as soon as possible to get the vaccine or get the camera. Just standing there, they are paying players. When the horizon, when we're having big clubs in sports, but touting this summer, should everything be okay? Countries like Italy, Spain really bring to the economy, can really bring to the society. And if we come out from this,
World Cup, the 28-year-old made his debut. He's on Thursday, 2012, and he has a new coach of the team. And first says there's mass 16. He has, we told you this
15, 16, 17, 18. We were talking about him by 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26, 28. He's right now.
He said it's what ordinarily will have come to the federation. So let me just read anything else. FIFA give them this money as relief.
Government don't say make everybody sit down for house. Don't do what you government always wash your hands with. So cover your mouth.
The best
person said. It wasn't really the Tottenham team, although they were depleted.
Giving suggestions to play for the
and a certain thing is done for them. We've got to pray.
Dear comrades, please, may I know screen some of us of Rashidi Yekini?
His name, his full name is Haftor.
By post screening, that is 60-0123-5111.
See all these crazy people, they want to the cause of the for my king, they be king for their area. I never know what people
FM.
Those sets to feature Nicki Minaj.
I do. Just. That was Friday. Yeah, everyone kept screaming, "Happy New Month! Happy New Month!" It's the 5th day already. Wow. We are in a hurry. We are really in a hurry to get out of 2020. I mean, most persons are saying it should just come to an end.
Yes, because
as quickly as possible.
I think it's because just like we have in one of our promo, talking about the whole awareness thing we got rolling. It says 2020 has been
morbid
from Kobe to COVID. Yeah, you dig. So for a host of people, everybody just see it like this year has already got the best of them already. So they just wanted to just go. Probably maybe once a year rolls by as quick as it does. I saw the coronavirus and everything that it came.
Interestingly, I was having a conversation with one of our colleagues actually, and she said, this leap year don't tie up. Okay. See, until she said that, I never knew that it was a thing. Yeah, people will begin to liking a leap year to some oddity, some sort of oddity somewhere.
Okay, I
never heard that.
I've seen cases like that.
I never heard that until she mentioned it. I was like, oh, really? Really? Okay.
This is
okay.
the first time I'm hearing it as well.
Well, we are excited that it's day 5 already in May, and while most persons are still planning on how to spend
month 5.
Yeah, day 5, month 5. Yep. Interesting. Okay. While persons are still planning on how to spend or planning, really seriously planning on what to do with their money, new money. Where can I get money from? I don't know. Benjamin is kind of like on the fence. Yeah. Yeah, in between spending all and not spending, spending too much and not spending too much at the same time.
I do well. For me, I can't
when
really
begins
say.
To stop well, for me, Bob Daddy.
It's something I want to cut down on. So I'm trying. Yes, it wasn't like I throw the money away. It was just circumstances beyond my control. So what I have to do to get a